A recent change in price that I have identified with Starbucks coffee is an increase. So let's just get into it. Let's look at this shift of supply graph. As you can see here, the supply curve has shifted to the left. The demand has remained the same. This is causing equilibrium prices to increase and equilibrium quantity to decrease. So why has this supply curve shifted to the left? It's a really good question. The price of the input price to make the good that Starbucks produces, which is coffee, any of their food and drinks, has increased. And this has happened for two reasons. The first reason is that the prices of their coffee beans have increased. This is because Starbucks is looking to ethically source all of their coffee beans, all of their goods, but specifically their coffee beans. Ethically sourcing is sort of that idea of fair trade, and that is making sure that who they are buying their coffee beans from is treating their laborers properly, meaning their laborers are getting a fair wage and their laborers are working in decent, good enough, decent working conditions and working a safe amount of hours. So that is why coffee bean prices have risen, because Starbucks is looking to buy their coffee from ethical sources, which again is more expensive. It's going to be more expensive to buy from an ethical source than to buy from a source that's paying their workers an unfair wage. And that also goes to the price of the input good, because the price of the input good for a worker or for a producer to pay their laborer less is going to be lower, which is why the price of those beans is lower than the price of the ethically sourced coffee beans. I digress. So another reason the price of the input good for Starbucks coffee has risen, so it's costing them more to make their goods, is because of the increase in minimum wage. This means that Starbucks has to pay their workers more, which again causes them more to make their good, more to keep their stores open, which again is going to decrease their supply, because input price rises, supply decreases, supply curve shifts left, but if the demand remains the same, the price is going to rise and the quantity is going to decrease. So this is why Starbucks coffee's price has risen, according to a shift in supply. So that graph sort of displays the actual price increase that I found through my research, but I wanted to sort of show a hypothetical situation, because I wanted to show a shift in demand and how that could affect the price and quantity of a good. So every season, Starbucks introduces different drinks. For the fall, it's the pumpkin spice latte. For the winter, it's the peppermint. For the summer, it's the different refresher drinks, like the fruit drinks. So every season brings new seasonal limited edition drinks. And when these drinks are immediately introduced, and honestly, all while they're available, it's a limited edition, so it kind of speaks to the idea of how people act if they know the price is going to go up. Instead of the price going up, the good is just going to become unavailable. So this is going to increase the demand, because people want to get it while they can. So on my graph, you will see the demand curve is going to shift right, because the demand is going to increase. However, the supply does not change. So this is going to cause the good to become more expensive. However, because there's this idea of growth and people want more of a good, the equilibrium quantity will grow as well. So again, you can see here how these seasonal limited edition drinks are going to be good for the company because they don't need to increase their supply. Their supply is going to remain the same. However, they're going to be able to charge more and make more and, be growing their business. And that's how they're able to use seasonal limited edition drinks to grow their business. So that's just a quick, more of a hypothetical situation for this shift of demand. There isn't really any actual price increase that I've identified in my research, but I just wanted to show a demand curve.